I'm looking at a dead man.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about Street Fighter once more. I appreciate all of the Tekken fans sticking with me as I cover the announcement of Street Fighter 6 and just the whole discussion around it. There's a lot of discussions happening, and I do want to keep track of it and break it down and sort of just give my take on what's happening. The reason why I think it's important, even if you don't want to play Street Fighter 6, if you don't want to watch it, I think it's still important because I use Street Fighter 4 as an example. Street Fighter 4 was incredible. That game is given a lot of credit for reinvigorating the FGC. Street Fighter 4 really revamped it. And I can kind of say the same about Tekken 7, but on the flip side, Street Fighter 5 was kind of a miss. When it first launched, it stumbled very, very hard. And the reason why I say that is because whether Street Fighter 6 fails or succeed, the outcome of that, the release of that, will be felt all around the FGC. So I think it is important to look at and to watch carefully because it's going to have an effect on the whole entire FGC. And the big thing that I want to talk about right now is of course, the new art direction. Now, when I seen the trailer, when I, did my breakdown, I was super excited. I thought the gameplay, or I thought the, sort of realistic, gritty feel that it had, I thought that was really cool. And that made me want to play the game. But as I uploaded that trailer and as the days sort of passed on, I seen a lot of people who actually play Street Fighter being upset. So I was thinking about it. Why are they upset? Usually the best thing a game could do is one, improve the gameplay, and two, improve the graphics. And comparing Street Fighter 5 and Street Fighter 6, some could argue that the graphics was improved upon, but then some people can say that Street Fighter abandoned what they loved the franchise for. In order to explain why some people were upset. So before I actually give a reason why some of these people are upset, what I want to do is go to the actual video in the comment section and just look at what people are saying. Look at the comments people are leaving because I think it's really important. And I wonder if Street Fighter will, if they will pull back, if they will change the course. One thing that comes to mind when I talk about changing the graphics is Sonic, the movie. For those of you who don't know, when Sonic first announced the movie, they showed off the character Sonic, and a lot of people hated the way the character looked. A lot of people was making fun of the design. I think at the time Sonic had teeth, and everyone hated it. And the developers of the movies, the producers, the people working on it, they seen the criticism and they went back and they basically redid every single scene with Sonic in it, and they made him better. And you have to wonder, will Street Fighter do the same? Because right now the fallout is kind of equal to that. I want to say it's as massive, but it's definitely the same. Looking at some of these comments here, 3 likes, 3 replies. Someone says underwhelming. Under that, someone flat out says, I think this is fake. Super Sleep Fighter 6, 5 likes on that. Under that, trash direction. Are they taking Street Fighter with this MK11 graphics? One way that I was thinking, how can I explain this to people who aren't Street Fighter fans? People who are fans of, let's say, Mortal Kombat, Tekken. I was thinking about it. We all want to see Tekken 8. We all want to see Mortal Kombat 12. What if Tekken 8 or Mortal Kombat 12 was announced, and instead of it being ultra realistic graphics, how we imagine in our minds, what if they went a different route and they made Tekken 8 look like anime, like Street Fighter 5 or Guilty Gear Strive? What if they went that artistic direction? That's not what we picture. That's not what we expect. We like the way that Tekken looks now, so to see them venture off and do something else would upset a lot of people. And I think that's what's happening in the Street Fighter 6 community. They expect a certain type of design and they want to see that improved on, sort of I would say perfected, But to see Capcom going completely off the rails, I could see why a lot of people are upset. But on the flip side, because here's the thing, Capcom didn't do that for no reason. They had a very, very good reason to change the graphics. And I say it all the time when it comes to Tekken, but I think it's very important to say now. The amount of people that are upset about the graphics being changed, the look of it being changed, you guys are far outweighed by the people this will draw in. The reason why companies put so much into graphics, the game will play like garbage, the game will be horrible, but the graphics will look stunning. The reason why they do that is because a lot of casuals are sold on games based on graphics. I'll give you a quick example here. Cyberpunk 2077. That game looked fantastic. The city looked like one of the best cities ever designed. The graphics was next gen. Everything you would expect from a AAA game, Cyberpunk was, you know, in the trailers, in the sort of advertising. But when the game came out, it was horrible. And even though it was horrible, it was still one of the best-selling games of the year. It still broke records, and it did all of that because of the visuals. Also, they put a lot into the marketing. I think they marketed that game perfectly, but you can't do that without the visuals. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of companies paid attention to that. They were like, wait, you mean to tell me if we make our game look super real, super good, then it basically sells itself? And I think that is why Street Fighter 6 chose this route, chose this path, because of, it's like these companies all learned from each other. They're all competing with each other. Even though that's a whole different genre, we still have limited time to play the game. So are you going to spend your 3 hours of free time playing Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat, Call of Duty? You know, it's very competitive. And I think this visual change is going to have a big impact. And I think it's going to allow Street Fighter to bring in more players. It's going to grab that casual audience like Street Fighter hasn't in the past. Something else people have to take into consideration when viewing this teaser trailer is first that it is a teaser, and second that it is a trailer. This is not a gameplay trailer where they show actual gameplay footage. Yes, this is super realistic and super detailed, but what I think could be a strong contender for what the game actually looks like is something similar to what we got in Fortnite. Chun-Li and Ryu both were put into Fortnite probably like a year ago, a year and a half, I don't know. But they were put into Fortnite, and if you look at their character models, it's super detailed. Yes, it's cartoonish. Yes, it's not ultra realistic, but it's still high quality. I can see a whole Street Fighter 6 roster being fleshed out this way. I think the game will look incredible this way because you kind of get the blend of two worlds. Fortnite did a wonderful thing. They have the cartoon aspect of it, but they also have the realistic and the realism feel that people look for in a game. Fortnite did a good job of juggling both when it comes to Ryu and Chun-Li. And you have to wonder, the Capcom developers, the Street Fighter developers were giving Fortnite aid, sort of guide, telling them yes and no when making these characters, and you have to wonder if they specifically chose for Chun-Li and Ryu to look like this because their next game will look like this. I know it's like a far-fetched theory and it's like outside the box, but I think these things do tie together. I think it's very likely that we can see a Street Fighter 6 game looking like this. That's more likely that Street Fighter 6 will look like something similar to Fortnite than the whole roster being extremely realistic and fleshed out, and you could see the wrinkles and you could see the hairs. I'm not saying it's not possible, but that is super difficult to do. We saw Mortal Kombat 11 try to go that super realistic route, and what happened? The whole entire FGC was roasting them. They were saying the characters look stiff. They were saying the Terminator fits perfectly in that game because he's a robot and all the other characters move like robot. So Mortal Kombat 11, they suffered in sort of the fluidity and how the game flows because they went so visual focused. So there is a lot of things to weigh here, and I don't think it's just fair, or I don't think it's we should just jump the gun and say this game is horrible because of a 20-second teaser trailer. I think we should wait until we see the gameplay footage at least, so we can see what they're actually doing, because I think this Fortnite stuff is a really good it gives us an idea of what they have in mind when it comes to design, right? The last and final thing that I want to talk about is what I think the rest of the roster will look like. Seeing Ryu and seeing Luke looked very different. Ryu looked a little bit different too, but Luke looked completely different from the way that he does in Street Fighter V, and it makes you wonder, what will Ken, Cammy, Chun-Li, Guile? I'm excited to see what those characters will look like, if that is how the game is going to look, if that is the art direction they're going for, because it leaves a lot for you to explore and wonder and think about, and it feels like a totally new game when they went in this huge direction. And I also hope the gameplay is there, because visuals, graphics, all those things sort of fades away after a while, and all that really remains is the gameplay. For example, Yoshimitsu in Tekken 7, I used to hate his costume when it first came out. I was like, why did they give him this weird this weird squid outfit? But now I love it. So over time, you do just sort of get used to things and grow to appreciate it. But the gameplay is what's important, and the gameplay is what they need to focus on. But I do think switching to the ultra real feel is going to give them that opportunity to reach into that casual market and pull players in, right? But that's it. That's all I really want to talk about, sort of give my thoughts on this, because I've seen a big discussion happening around this topic. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Gosh! I thought there was an animation there. I thought he pressed a button, but damn, that was hook, line, sinker. IDOM is a lot.